Hi everyone, I'm Mara Warner, Communications Coordinator for the Girl Scouts of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. Welcome to Media Girls, a program for Girl Scouts who are interested in traditional, digital, and social media. Today's training will focus on television, and I'm joined by Tiffany Lundberg from Local 4 News in the Quad Cities. Thanks for helping us.
Thanks for having me, and I'm going to give you a tour of everything news. We're going to go down into the newsroom, and I'm going to give you a little tour of the studio later, so I'm really excited that you guys are all here watching.
Yep, so thanks for giving us our tour and everything. Right before we get into our ins and outs, we're going to see what the newsroom's like.
Okay, welcome to the newsroom. This is where all the writing gets done before we go up to the studio, which we will show you as well. There's already been a request for Girl Scout cookies. We love it when the Girl Scouts come because you always bring us treats. But come on in and we'll show you what goes on here. So this is a place that a lot of people don't see. You usually see our studio because that's where the news happens, but this is where everything happens before. So this is where all of our reporters, our producers, our photographers, our web person, our assignment editor, everybody is in here. We're all communicating. Sometimes it gets crazy when there's breaking news. But this is a program that everyone's working in. This is called iNews, and there's different forms of this at different news stations. But this is where all the news is written and all the stories are written. So reporters have maybe one story that they're working on all day, so they'll write that story. But all the rest of the stories are written by our producers, and our producers sit over here. This is Terry, and this is Tahara.
We're the ones who are shy about these.
Terry's working on our 9 o'clock show that airs on Fox, so it airs from 9 to 10. Tahara is working on our 6 p.m. show and our 10 p.m. show. And Tahara is going to be a reporter soon, so we're excited about that. She'll start training. Over here is Grace. Grace is still training to take over Tahara's spot, so she's also going to be working on the 10 and the 6. And so what they're doing is they're writing stories. They're writing local stories, but they're also going through, and there's a system where, because we're a CBS station, there's a big website, I'm trying to think of the word for it. Database, that's the perfect word for it. See, that's why she's a producer. She writes what I say. So there's a big database that they can go into, and they get news from CBS all over the country. So that's how we're able to write news that's happening somewhere else, maybe in Louisiana or in New York. So that's kind of what's going on there. Over here is our photographer, Mike. When breaking news happens, we'll send him out to a fire. He'll go out to a meeting. He'll go out to do something happy as well. So he's just sitting around waiting for
the bell to ring.
Waiting for something to happen.
Exactly.
There's another producer, Eric. He's working on our 4 and 5 p.m. show. And then this is Ryan over here. He's our web guy. So he's posting to social media. He's posting to Facebook. He's posting to Twitter. And he's making sure that all of our stories are up to date on our website. This is Ginger. She's our assignment editor. So she's on the phone a lot. She's trying to find stories, and reporters will come in and she'll get a story and she'll give it to the reporter, and she'll tell him it's at this time, you need to go here, you need to do this. So there's a lot of people working to make all these shows happen. It's not just what you see on TV. So we are about to go into the control room. Control room is all the behind the scenes stuff. It's where our production assistants work. And I'll let you come in. You'll see our meteorologist, Andy McCrae, is filming some updates right now. So you can see what's going on out in the studio here.
3, 2, 1. Thick fog for some of us this morning. Clouds are hanging around too. I'll let you know how long the mild weather sticks around on Fox 18 News at 9.
So this is behind the scenes. This is our director. Okay. He's pushing the buttons, making sure each camera is going to the right person at the right time, because there's multiple cameras. So I'm going to get out of there because I know they're working. Go. So this is the studio that I was talking about earlier. We were down in the newsroom. We saw where everyone was getting the shows prepared. So this is where the show will actually be filmed. We have 2 cameras in our studio. Some studios have 5 cameras, some studios have 3 cameras. It just varies. But I'm going to explain to you what everything is. So right over here to my left, this is what we call the DuraCurve, and we'll do interviews here. We do live interviews. We've done live interviews with the Girl Scouts here before, and we put the cookies right here, and then we eat them. That's one of our favorite parts. Over here, is the weather wall. So you can see it's all green. So what happens is that the meteorologist is not allowed to wear green, because if they wear green, it will key out, which means it will look invisible. So it will look like if he's wearing a green tie, he has a hole going through his chest, because the graphics, their weather graphics, are then projected onto the screen. So when you see a meteorologist doing his forecast, it's actually a lot harder than you think, because it's just a green wall. So they're looking at these screens over here, and they're telling you the temperatures and the wind speeds. I'm not a meteorologist, so I'm not going to get into the technical terms. There they are. Speaking of a meteorologist, there is two meteorologists: our chief meteorologist Andy McCrae and meteorologist Kit Cloninger. Say hello.
Say hello.
They're working on their show right now. So weather is individual. When I was talking about the producers, they do all the news and the reporters, but the weather crew is responsible for their own graphics and their own forecasting. So they're putting that together before the show. These are our cameras, and you can see over here, if you look, this is where the teleprompter is. That's why this hood is right here. So somebody is in the back in the control room, and they're running the teleprompter, and that's where we see what to read. Obviously, this is the anchor desk, so you'll have your anchors sit up here, your main anchors or your weekend anchors. That's pretty much it. We come to work every day. Here are our microphones. We put our microphones on before we start. This is called an IFB. We have a little earpiece that goes in, and when we plug into here, people in the back are telling us what's going on. So if a story gets dropped or something goes wrong, that's how we're able to communicate, and that's how we're able to know what is happening.
As media girls, we know you're interested in the field of television. There's so much you can do with film, from social media and digital to that traditional news field. Today, Tiffany is going to explain kind of that proper etiquette, different techniques that you can bring on television, and then also explore this career. Great. How long have you worked as a news anchor?
I've been working as a news anchor for a little more than 8 years, and it has been quite an adventure. I've lived in 4 different states in 8 years.
Wow. What made you want to go into this field?
Well, I've always liked entertainment and performing. I did dance, I did theater when I was young, and I've always liked writing as well. So when I got into college, I took a journalism class, and I really liked it. So then I decided to take a broadcast journalism class, and I really seemed to pick up on it. I had a teacher pull me aside and said that I really seemed to understand the concept of writing for news, so it kind of inspired me, and I just kept going with it, and I ended up majoring in that in college.
What kind of classes and internships did you do to help you with this field?
So I was a communications major with an emphasis in broadcast journalism, as I mentioned. My senior year, we have a class where you actually put on a newscast. You have anchors, reporters, producers, and everyone kind of switches positions. So it's a little newscast at your school. I also did a couple internships. I interned at MTV News. I went to school in Southern California. I grew up there, so that was really fun. I also worked at Disneyland, and I did an internship with their internal TV station. It was called Cast TV, so I was able to do some fun reporting behind the scenes for Disneyland. And I also did a cable internship where I was a reporter, and I think I learned the most from that one, because working at a small cable station, they actually allowed us to go into the field and work with a more experienced photographer, and that's how I was able to put together my demo reel and get my first job.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you recommend for people who want to get into news reporting?
Well, you definitely need to love it. As I mentioned, I've lived in 4 states in 8 years, so there's a lot of moving around, and usually when you start, you don't make that much money, but you have to really have a passion for it, and that's the most important thing. Then you have to go to school, you have to get your degree, you have to like writing. There's a lot of writing, and another very important thing, even if you think you're going to do local news, is that you need to stay current. You need to be reading the newspaper. You need to be actually watching TV news. You need to watch local and national news to make sure that you know what's going on.
What careers are available in this field?
There's a lot of careers, as I showed you on the tour. We have all different types of positions available. So there's producers. If you like writing and you don't like being on camera, you can be a producer. Reporters, you're going out into the field, you're learning new things every day and you're coming in. Anchors, we usually stay here. We also get to go out in the field on occasion. And then there are production assistants where they're working the cameras. We have photographers who just shoot. We have people in the meteorology department who are doing the weather. So there's all different types of positions.
What do you like most about your career?
I think the thing that I like most about my career is that I'm always learning something new and I'm getting to meet new people and tell their stories.
How should someone dress for a television interview?
You want to dress professional, and I also recommend wearing bright colors. So, you can wear a black dress, but maybe you want to wear a bright blazer like I'm wearing. Reds, blues, pinks, they look really great on television. They kind of just make you pop. And you want to dress professional, kind of like you're going on a job interview, and you want to wear something that fits you.
And I would say with all Girl Scouts too, to make sure you wear your best and just kind of show the community that you are a Girl Scout. It's easy for people to recognize, especially if they're just tuning in or, TV's in the background, they can catch what we're doing on television. Yeah, that's great. What tips can you share with someone who's a little nervous about going on television?
I think the first thing to do is remember to just breathe. Remember that, when the Girl Scouts come on, we just want it to go great. We want you to look good. And then another great tip is to be prepared. Know your topic ahead of time. So the night before, if you're going to talk about cookies, make sure you know everything about cookies. Research it, go over it, even if you think you know it. So you're comfortable, and when you're comfortable with your topic, you'll probably come off comfortable on air.
Yeah. What do you think about for body language on camera? What are some things girls should and shouldn't do?
Again, you want to be comfortable. So you want to sit up straight, but you want to, again, I want to emphasize, you want to be comfortable. So you don't want to sit in a position that makes you feel weird, because then that's probably going to come across weird.
What are some do's and don'ts too for responding to questions?
I think taking a moment, if you're not sure what you want to say, take a moment, listen to what the interviewer has asked you, and respond appropriately. And again, just being prepared. I think when you're prepared, it comes off a lot that you're a lot more comfortable, and it all works.
And I would say something for me is watching back sometimes my interviews. I learned I talk really fast. Sometimes I say things like that. It's always good once you've been on TV to then watch that back and think about what went well and what maybe could be a little better. What should someone do if they mess up on here?
Keep going. I'm sure a lot of Girl Scouts out there. I was a Girl Scout myself. I also took dance classes. I took theater. It's the same kind of thing when you mess up in dance class at your dance recital. They say keep going, and that's the best thing you can do. I think a lot of times when you mess up, you think it's a lot worse than it actually is, and when you go back and watch yourself, it's just maybe a little stumble. Remember, even the professionals, the people on the national news, stumble sometimes because it's live TV.
Yeah. What kind of stories do you want the media look for? What's the most interesting stories for an interview?
For me personally, I think it varies. Some people prefer investigative stories. I prefer human interest stories, which are stories about people. And you're bringing people's emotions forward, and I think those are my favorites.
Thank you. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today on our very first Media Girls training. I hope everyone enjoyed today's video, and if you have any other questions, just send me an email. If you're not already a member of our Media Girls program, check the description below and we'll have a link for you to apply. Remember to subscribe to Girl Scouts of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois' YouTube channel, and thanks everyone for coming today.